Hello. This is Beaufort Anton Stenberg. Properly. Samyak Sham Buddha Maitreya. Bhagavan Skyflower Paramahamsa. But you just call me Nagahari. Or Beaufort is fine. Now, it is, what day is it? Currently, Sunday the 14th of December, 2025 at circa 8:40 p.m. Now, yesterday, so that is Saturday the 13th of December at the Melbourne Danks Street Mandira, the Sri Sri Radhe Vallabha Temple, the Vaishnava ISKCON temple. The malicious, envious, and evil hillbilly hick pseudo non-Vaishnavas endeavoured yet another collective icky yucky spell or mantra on my gentle, beautiful, and kind personage. Yes, they actually tried it friggin' on again, according to their malicious and evil art. I don't know what's wrong with them, and why they lack basic basic Vaishnava virtues and qualities and etiquette, or why they are doing this. I've never done anything untoward to any of them. I personally embody and have demonstrated and enshrined all traditional Vaishnava qualities, etiquette, and virtues, and the Achana Vigraha have objectively demonstrated that I am the superlative Vaishnava in the local community in the state of Ekatvam Darshan. In the state of Ekatvam Darshan. With the Achana Vigraha and Dhruva bearer. Dhruva, Achana Vigraha are worshipful deities. In this tradition, they're the ones that you change the clothing of, you feed, and you adorn. And there's Archa Vigraha. So in temple worship, in deity worship, it's actually in my knowledge, I actually do not know of any other tradition that is the Gaudiya Vaishnavas are actually it's quite a new tradition, but they have gathered and elevated the Archana Vigraha aspect, the deity worship aspect, to my knowledge, to my extensive knowledge, more so than any other tradition that is currently extant. And I have a vast amount of knowledge in different religious traditions. Now, there may be some others comparable, but the Gaudiya Vaishnava in this particular aspect of altar working is superlative. Now, the other lineages, parampara, of Vaishnavism are older. They have other different ways of working, much deeper and different ways of working. And they also do Archa and altar work, but it isn't, they don't focus on, well, they do. Anyway, look, I don't want to get caught up with these kind of like these details. It's for the uninitiated, it's just too confusing. But just appreciate the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, which I am, but I'm also a greatly ecumenical Vaishnava amongst other things. I'm rangingly, as an omnist, I'm rangingly ecumenical. Now, I just find them a bit of a joke, to tell you the truth. I find them a superlative joke. Now, I embody and have demonstrated and enshrined all traditional Vaishnava qualities, etiquette, and virtues. And the Acharya Vigraha have objectively demonstrated that I am the superlative Vaishnava in the local community in the state of Ekatvam Darshan, Eka is, you may render it as one, but it has other denotators. Eka is one, Tvam truth. One truth, Darshan, one truth, vision. So that means I'm on the deity platform. I'm a deity running around. And so the deities are actually, I'm a temple. The deities are in me. Now, amongst other things, but anyway, that's also not appropriate to talk about for the uninitiated. Now, there's a cut from Darshan with the Acharya Vigraha. The Acharya Vigraha are the deities that are worthy of worship. They're, like I said, just as a reprise, like I mentioned before, they're the ones that you change the clothes of twice a day. The whole community feeds them. That's one of they're called Dhruva bearer because Dhruva is the North Star, the pole star. Dhruva, everything revolves around the central deities. Now, the central deities are Sri Sri Radhe Vallabha. Now, they're worshipping the deities in envy and malice. They're working in envy and malice because they're treating me in envious and malice, you see. And this is Kanko. Now, because the deities and I are one. Now, it is such a heinous, contemptible thing for them to be rendering service to the Dhruva bearer in contempt and malice and evil. Now, so the tradition is, they've tried it on, they've failed. The Dhruva bearer leave with me. I really only want to take the Dhruva bearer. I mean, I love all the deities, but I'm not greedy, and I don't really need to be trained. But the tradition is that the Dhruva bearer, in particular, which will be the large Sri Sri Radhe Vallabha, will come with me on Parakram. The superlative echelon of the pundits in India. So that's like the sort of the Mahapandis, the really the tiger tier, you know, the Bengal tiger tier of pundits will determine what needs to be done with them and with this whole situation. I just want to wash my hands of it. I've got more important things to worry about and concern myself with, and that's a sublime understatement. All right, you hearken and hear. Now, so that's there's the Dhruva bearer. It's called Dhruva bearer. So it's like everything, like all the constellations revolve around Dhruva, the pole star. The whole community revolves around the Acharya, the central deities, which are Sri Sri Radhe Vallabha. The other deities, all of them, are peripheral. They're still important. I'm not. I love them. I love them all equally. But the Dhruva bearer, the central Sri Sri Radha Vallabha, have preeminence and precedence. That's how it works. Technically, specifically, and traditionally. Now, they've even called the temple, they've even named the temple after Sri Sri Gaudata. I love Sri Sri Gaudata. I love them. That's Sri Sri Nityananda and Chaitanya. Now, I'm devoted to all of these deities. I mean, I've worshipped them my whole adult life. Now, I don't feel kinship. There's a few Vaishnava devotees that I hold in esteem, and I let them know. I give them a report card. The ones who don't, as well, I give them a report card as well, and I can send them energetic report cards in many ways. Be under no illusions. Now, Uh, anyway, that's enough about the Druva Bearer. You get the import. Now, they give these icky yucky pseudo hillbilly hick non-Vaishnavas. They give these beautiful. They're called opulences, which are Vaishnava qualities, etiquettes, and virtues, lip service, and do not embody them. Now, just to be clear, fair, and true, there are Vaishnavas, beautiful Vaishnavas, beautiful Vaishnavas, and devotees. So, not many other people from other devotees from other denominations and other traditions come to the temple that are not technically and specifically and exactly Vaishnavas, the devotees. So, just to include them, there are many beautiful Vaishnavas and devotees in the extended local community. But the vast majority of the long timers, I've been, how long I've been, I was in the temple from 18. I'm now over 50. I've been going to the temple for all of my adult life. Now, I was a brahmachari in the temple. I went to university for there, studying Sanskrit, religious studies, and history of India. Now, in Adoti and Kurta. Now, just just as a reprise. Now, just to be clear, fair, and true, there are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Vaishnava, and I'm using that. That's a sublime understatement. Beautiful Vaishnavas and devotees in the extended local community. But the vast majority of the long timers in the Melbourne Mandira are just canker. They will never, ever be permitted in Goloka Vrindavan. They will never, ever be permitted in Goloka Vrindavan. That's like Goloka Vrindavan in this tradition of mine, is a whirling lotus, which is actually to be understood as a yantra. A whirling yantra, quite comparable to a Buddha field. But not Buddhas are a different echelon. Again, okay. There's anyway. That's esoteric, and I don't want to go into that for the uninitiated. Now, they will never ever be permitted into Goloka Vrindavan. I will never let them in. I'm a pure devotee, you see. I'm a pure devotee, technically, specifically, and exactly. They have displeased a pure devotee. I'm the one who holds the keys to Goloka Vrindavan. They will never ever be permitted. I will not permit them to enter. Now, there is no Nitya or eternal pastimes for them, and I will lock them out of Great Mother India as well. I will lock them out of Great Mother India and protect the Holy Land in Vrindavan from their malice, evilness, envy, and canker. Their evil is evil in the denotation of malicious evil, as evil also has other denotations. I am pure. This is honest. I'm not. This is not being uppity or anything. This is the truth. I am pure as unblemished snow, and they are spreading all this malicious gossip to render me undue harm and pain. Anyway, I have extended the olive branch of grace and peace, and buried the hatchet with them on so many occasions, due to the goodness, gentleness, graciousness, and kindness of my honourable, clear, bright, and fair personage. This was the last straw. I will now, in future, gently bless each and every one of them. They will never ever see me coming. I also encourage all of my loyal families to gently bless them according to their own determinations at their leisure. Now, this is what happened. Every tradition has icky yucky aspects. icky yucky workings. You know what I mean by icky yucky? It's a child lock of like I don't like doing that shit. I just don't like. It's just not me. I am purity. I am honourable, upright, honest, good, beautiful. I tend to favour in its theological terminology. I am beautiful. And that's actually what is traditional for my echelon of accomplishment. It's beautiful. Now, this is what happened. Every tradition has icky yucky aspects. If you can work something one way, you can work it another. Like other people have read what I've said. There's no such thing as black magic. All right. If you're a black person and you work magic, it's black magic. If you're a white person, you work white magic, it's white magic. It all gets mixed up and muddled up because in different registers and different languages and all of this, it means other things. It's all glossed with different. Anyway, it's very very confusing unless you really go to the root and the source and you know what you're friggin' doing. You have the resources and you have the intelligence and to determine and all of that. And a lot of people just do not. Now, and this is the truth, a lot of people just do not, and they just get so utterly confused. And I'm not like that. I triangulate deeply, discern, and nail with precision within an inch of its life. And I think most of you who have encountered my workings will accord with my personal determination of my standard of accomplishment. Now, here's a reprise. If you can work something one way, you can friggin' work it another. It is widely known now throughout the world that I am both Bhagavan, technically Bhagavan. Different echelons of Bhagavan. I'm top tier echelon Bhagavan, deity. Avaduta, deity, and Paramahamsa, deity level, amongst other titles that have been so for over 15 years. I look like a little kid, I know, but don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Things are not as they seem. My looks, and I will get younger now, and I will get more beautiful, and I'll be strong, powerful, and prescient, and superlatively fast, powerful, and adept. Just physically, just the yantra of my body. Anyway, moving on from that. Now, I've accomplished 15 years ago. I should have been elevated. Instead of doing that, again and again and again and again and again and again and again, I kept on coming in the exact same color, not just color, and all of it, but hue. Do you know technically, hue, color, hue, and often, or sometimes, patterns as well of the deities. You know how friggin' again and again and again, when you have all of these possibilities, that's beyond chance. Do you get me? It is just friggin' beyond fucking chance. Now, this happens so many times, it's inconceivable in different intergroups of frequencies. Now, what do you think would have happened if that had happened in India? What do you think would have happened if that had happened in India? Now, because I'm here, or these devotees are here, and it's Maharaji, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Maharaji Gurudeva established the Melbourne temple as the Southern Hemisphere flagship for ISKCON. But the standards have slipped. It is far from flagship Southern Hemisphere now, far from it. Now, and how do I know? Because I am one of, if not the most superlative scholar of the tradition. Now, The evil and pseudo-Vaishnavas of this Sri Sri Radhe Balaba Mandira have triangulated and focused an awful spell of malice, envy, evil, and untruth on my person through their Maha Prajalpa. Maha Prajalpa, Maha Prajalpa. That is to be understood as evil and malicious gossip to get people who do not know the truth through ill-founded and untrue hearsay to render cruelty and violence to my person. That is, getting otherwise good people to do their evil work. In the Vaishnava tradition, there is no greater malicious and evil working. During breakfast or lunchtime prasadam, I don't remember which, as I've been very, very friggin' busy trading. At the Sri Sri Radhe Balaba Mandira on Saturday, December 13, 2025, the devotees in the prasadam hall tried on, endeavoured, they friggin' tried it on, this collective top tier, icky yucky malicious collective mantra on my person whilst we were in the prasadam hall taking prasadam. They all started chanting in a malicious mantraic birdsong register that I have never heard before in the Bardo of Awakening. Now, well, that isn't quite true. I dreamt of this happening a number of years ago. So this is the Bardo of Dreams. In the birdsong register, they all started chirping the different malicious names they have gathered from my plundering of my religious workings at once. So they're just tweeting it, it's just like all this kind of birdsong, this malicious mantraic birdsong register, this Twittering register, all of these malicious names that they had, of my religious mysteries, of my religious mysteries, and inverted, polluted, and sullied their denotations, so their little mosquito minions could triangulate all that is icky yucky in the extended community on my beautiful, adept, and accomplished person. I knew of this working and expected and anticipated it. I actually dreamt of it just once again a number of years ago. It was truly a little bit of a surprise though, but far, far from top tier or on point to my echelon. They all started to tweet in a birdsong register all of the malicious names they had gathered and triangulated and focused on me from my hard-won journey of religious wealth, writings of workings. This working is supposed to break your mind and consciousness. This working is supposed to break your mind and consciousness. This working is supposed to break your mind and consciousness. I just found it a bit of a curious yawn. Now, my many loyal families, I seal you to work your inspired will on them and gently bless them according to your determination. Twist them. Aim straight and true. I love you. Show them the truth of the bright black celebration. Beaufort signing out.